Hello, myself Ramakrishna here. Basically, we are discussing one of the topic that is city creation. City creation. Basically, we are discussing one of the topic that is future creation. So, one of the person put vitamin here. Basically, we are discussing the future data basically that are basically collected. This is basically one of the way basically of collecting the future data. That is vitamins, and that basically are designed by the nuclear power company, energy company, and then basically the medicine industry comes, because medicine industry basically just know basically that these all are the datas, these all are the medicines, and these all are the combinations of the medicines basically. That's all basically, they only know this much only basically, and rest of process basically are done by the medical group basically. That is the India medical group, that is in IMS group basically, that is in Delhi basically. And that is whatever things basically are in front of the world basically, that is not basically that everybody knows. So AIMS might be handled by the set of hospitals basically, that are the set of doctors basically. So AIMS basically never handles the India blood cells basically. The India blood cells is basically handled by the set of doctors only basically, that is the richest doctor basically. We have given one condition here, that is this basically, rich doctors basically. And these doctors are who basically? Medical doctors basically. So they are very rich basically, they are very rich basically, they are basically they are very rich group basically. So one of the person told that they are very rich group basically. Why? Because they have the control of entire countries basically, they can do any type of process basically. So there basically they basically creates all data basically. This all group basically does basically what basically, they collects the data and they basically do the process basically, nothing else basically they do. But main thing basically are done by the doctors groups only basically. But they basically have the power basically, that they have the power that basically of this creation basically. And this group basically is handled by this group basically, this group basically what they do, they have the power of basically, no basically they are just doing the, I have taken one example of the project manager basically, who is basically handling the entire city. So that basically he is just handling the city basically, he is just doing the coordination basically, nothing else basically is doing. He is basically not a doctor basically, he is not an engineer, he is not a medicine, he is not a doctor basically, he is not a construction manager basically, he is not a IITs basically, he is not a this that whatever post basically which is created basically, he is not that basically, he is not a AI person also basically. He basically just do the coordination basically, nothing else basically he do basically, nothing else basically he do. So one of the person told that these groups, these all are those group basically who is handling the this data basically. And this basically is created by this group also basically you can say, and this group also basically you can say. So this group basically everybody everywhere basically, these groups are always there basically. And here basically I have just added few groups basically, that are this group basically, because you have to do the coordination, right? Basically nothing basically happens automatically, like basically lots of people say that chat GPT is there basically, that basically handles everything automatically basically, whatever thing basically you type basically, that basically they see in front of the you basically, that basically is not here basically. But that basically they are basically also controlling the stuff basically. It's not like that basically if you are typing anything basically and then basically it will get display automatically. There are basically many people basically who are controlling that chat GPT basically. That is basically the AI, one of the tool basically, artificial intelligence tool basically, which says that basically this data is there, this data is there basically. And one of the I have created one basically, I basically in one of my company basically has created one AI basically tool basically for the project managers basically, that basically we will have, we can discuss basically this that basically here basically. Just a minute, I will just what basically that contains basically, that basically few things basically that does not basically is there in the management side basically, that basically is not in the tools also basically you can say. So see basically that data basically, that is AI tools basically, that also you can say. So see basically I applied for job also basically, but there is no response. So see basically So resume update. This is that basically. The project management AI tool basically. In this basically what are the things basically it contains? Time basically, deadlines basically of the members basically, which can be mailed or which can be WhatsApp and which can be done in the base of call also basically. For example, one basically task basically is supposed to be finished at this time basically, so he is supposed to get the reminder basically. It's like that this reminder, that reminder, that basically happens in the form of the notification basically. That basically you can say as a AI tool basically, that can be basically, that basically comes into the notification side basically. So one of the person told that that basically is there in the notification basically, that basically is in the notification, so that is also basically AI basically. Then basically any task basically need to be added basically. One of the person told that this basically can convert into the business logic also basically. One of the person told that this also basically can add in the business basically. For example, CRM project basically, when how basically the CRM concept basically got into the picture. So he told that like this basically lots of people basically has gathered and they basically discussed the thing basically this that basically each and everything basically. Then basically the power company and energy company and nuclear power company captured that energy data, that was the ideas basically and each and every views basically, and they created around more than 21 types of CRM types basically. That's from 21 types of basically, sorry, from 21 ways basically the CRM system basically can be created. So that basically is the one of the creation basically. So that basically is basically one of the ways basically you can say. So in that way basically, if basically software company basically AI group basically can basically add one of the ideas basically, so that will convert into the business new task basically. That basically the power company basically says that basically that type of thing basically we can't track basically, up to what level basically we can track basically. So that basically can, that type of stuff basically the software company basically can reduce the power company's work basically, because power company basically up to what level they are going to do here basically, that basically is thing. So one of the project manager group basically who told that, who basically is handling the entire project managers basically, they told that basically we will do this basically, that if any business logic other than the CRM, there are basically 21 types of CRM projects view basically, that 21 types of CRM basically ideas basically are there, that you can create the CRM project basically in 21 ways basically. So in 21 ways basically you can create the CRM projects. Then one of the person told that yes, basically from 21 ways basically you can create the CRM projects. So if anybody basically of the project manager basically can design little bit basically ideas basically from the existing 21 ways basically, that basically can be added here basically. That can be added here basically, and that basically can be tracked through the system basically, that is the project management system basically, that is basically the task basically, which is any future basically task. For example, if you are adding this task, this that basically, the artificial intelligence software basically is this only basically, they basically connects to the CRM projects basically, the CRM ideas basically, this CRM idea this way basically. That means basically the project basically you are creating the project management plan basically, the project management plan tools basically, they should know the 21 ways of the CRM project basically. So whenever the CRM project tasks are designed basically, they should know the 21 ways basically, so that basically whenever the new task basically is going to add, that basically is supposed to connect that ways basically, this 21 ways basically are there basically. So from 21 ways basically, this is basically new project basically for the AI group basically, that also you can say. So 21 ways basically are there. Then from 21 ways basically, this task basically is connecting this second number of ways, this task is connecting 11th number ways, this task is connecting 15th number ways, this task is connecting 16th number ways. So like this basically the 21 ways basically are there, and there basically the tasks are designed basically, and that basically task whenever it's getting added basically, that project management tool basically, that is the software management AI tool basically, which is created by the groups basically, they are supposed to do the process basically in that 21 ways basically. In that basically if they can add something basically, this is basically new basically. So in next video basically we are going to see a little bit more about the AI groups, that is basically the artificial intelligence project management group basically, which says that basically we have created everything basically. So in the next video basically we are going to see a little bit more about this topic, that is AI project management tool.